Hey guys, just hanging out here at the PLOP office, and thought of a couple things last night that I wanted to touch base on. Looking at things in the news and stuff that's been coming up, non-political for right now. Hear of a veteran who called the VA office and via the suicide line, and he was told to call back when he was a little bit more rational. Uh, yeah, they here's how those suicide prevention lines work. We may all know that the number is 1-800-273-TALK. And then you figure out, I think it's whatever the letters translate out to be. But 1-800-273-TALK is a national suicide hotline. Then it says, if you're a veteran, press 1. Now, what exactly does that but pressing 1 do? What that does is it says, you're a veteran, we're going to transfer you to the VA system where they have callers. If you don't press 1, it sends you to a county from which you're calling. Now, mind you, all these call centers are all volunteers. I, for one, have not volunteered at one. I've called one during a test for one of my classes that I was teaching. We wanted to know exactly what their procedures were, how do they handle stuff, and because if we're referring to people, telling people, hey, if you're with somebody and you want to help somebody, here's who the help is. But if we don't ever know, then do we want to send them there? So that's where pushing 1 in, where your calls go. As for this individual who answered the VA side, they are not volunteers. They are paid staff. They are medical staff trained to deal with suicidal people. Why in the world that person ever felt that they needed to jump on this guy's backside because he was being a little too irate and a little too loud for them. I don't know if it was a male or female, whatever, whoever the caller, the receiver was. Well, let me put it into perspective this way. A person who is suicidal and probably making that call was probably the last ditch hope that they felt that they had. They're already in tons of pain. They're already feeling like they're all alone. And you're upset because they're yelling. He has nobody listening to him. Now, mind you, he may have everybody in the world willing to listen, but not to him. He may feel he is very alone, doesn't have anybody who cares, nobody will understand. Now, that there is a typical thing with vets, especially combat vets, is we are very particular who we talk to about certain things. Because it's one of those, if you haven't been there, you don't understand. I don't care what books you've read, what movies you have, or how many classes you took in a college. If you haven't been out there, you haven't gotten dirty, you haven't gotten muddy, sandy, you haven't gotten bloody with us, then you don't understand. And we're not going to comfortably talk to you. So, that being said, the volunteers at the county call centers, crisis lines, whatever you want to call them, they are volunteers. If you want to help out somebody who is suicidal, you may end up saving their life. But remember, you cannot save everybody. Definitely consult your county office. I'm sure they need volunteers. As for those being paid by the VA, There are many comments I want to make. Most are very colorful in the language I want to use, but that's not what I want these videos to be about. Get off the crapper. How's that? That work? You need to start being professionals. You need to start understanding the people you're trying to treat. I'm seeing these stickers and these shirts that says, I survived the VA. I agree with them. But they're missing something. The word so far. We are not doing enough to care for our service members. We have service members who are injured because of their line of duty. We have others who are doing paperwork because they're told to as a mass class upon returning back to the States. They're not injured, but they've been put into this VA file because some sergeant told them, hey, we have to do this, and everybody has to fill these papers out. Well, if you ask me, that sergeant who isn't making his own decisions, but he's adding to the problem. We need to start thinking for ourselves, in and out of the military. In the military, if you're a corporal or higher, you are a leader. If you're a second lieutenant fresh out of college, you're in the position of a leadership role. You still need to look around. Your experiences in college have nothing to do with those enlisted guys and officers who have been around for 10, 15 years. Mind you, we still salute you. But don't come out running. We all need to know our place, whether in the military or out. We are Americans. We need to stop the bickering. I don't care if you're left, right, progressive, moderate, conservative, Democrat, Republican. I do care if you're a socialist. God, that is not allowed in our America. We fought that all through the Cold War. So for these young folks who obviously have not done their history, either that or the teachers in the schools have taught them something totally different. You need to really learn what the USSR, also known as Russia, was doing as socialists. You want to know what it's like? Find an older Ukrainian person here in our country. Ask them what socialist is all about. There's a reason why they're not in their country. As for politics, candidates, that kind of stuff, let's start being professional. Everybody's got yard signs out on the side of the road. If it's not your candidate, don't look at it. If it is your candidate, make sure it's standing up. But be professional and be American enough and adult enough. Don't go knocking down signs. That's just child play. All right? If there's a parade going on and the other guys who support their candidate are going through on a parade float, don't go throwing stuff at them. What kind of idiocracy is that? We don't allow our kids to do it, but yet we have parents enticing kids to pick up candy that was thrown by previous floats for the kids to throw them at people who support somebody else. That is stupid. We all need to grow up. And lastly, yes, I have to confess something. I am a fan of the greatest football team ever. I want to do a shout out to my buddy Cam Newton, Greg Olson, the rest of the team. I think you guys are going to do wonderful, especially when you're here in Seattle. I know all my Seattle friends are going to just hate this, but hey, it's me. I can take it. I'm a man. It is Thursday. It is raining outside. It's the Pacific Northwest. We don't care. Have a great rest of your week. Do something good for somebody today. Whether it's let them in or don't let them in traffic. I don't care. Find something nice to do today. All right, guys. Love you. Bye.